Some encouraging developments for silver have recently emerged. My concerns concerning the metal situation didn't go away so long ago. However, we have encountered a minor obstacle. I will describe it for you. Something is wrong. I say we go on an adventure. A small surprise came from silver today. We are witnessing a rise just moments before the market's end. At this very moment, it is actually up 48 cents. The markets are about to shut at $41.66. At its peak, it was $41.82. Impressive, just 18 cents short of $42. I think that was the highest we've seen for a long time. In my recent experience, I am not aware of it having risen much higher than that. Still, seeing it moving ahead there is fantastic news. Summit Metals is the brand sponsor of the channel. Keep Summit Metals in mind anytime you are in the market to purchase or sell precious metals. Among the most rapidly expanding bullion dealers in the industry. These days they have a far broader assortment, excellent correspondence and prompt delivery. Before you buy or sell, be sure to look them over. Additionally, they will purchase valuable metals from you. What the fuck is happening here? Well, many are hoping that silver will rise above $42 per ounce. However, there is a great deal of opposition to it. But the gold stuff is what's really blowing our minds when it comes to silver right now. Today, gold has retreated a bit. Definitely down, if only little. Actually, it's currently trading at $3,636.60, a decrease of $4.60. The gold to silver ratio is now at 87.54 thanks to it. Holy cow. It's very remarkable. Many of us have been salivating for quite some time at the prospect of silver eventually catching up to gold, and this is what's happening now as the gold to silver ratio narrows. Simply put, silver's price has risen in tandem with gold's. On the whole, nevertheless, its performance has not been better than gold's. There is an exception today, but there aren't many. Indeed, we are witnessing one of those peculiar epochs when the marketplaces are aglow with festive cheer. Why? Because it features red as the color for down in gold, seeking a partner in green for silver, interested in red platinum, also green palladium. That's insane. It doesn't change the fact that that is our focus today. But give it some thought. Just under $42 per ounce, up 18 cents. Quite a significant matter that. This silver here dates back to 2015, and I'm displaying it to you for a reason. In a while, I will elaborate on why that is important in this video. However, we will examine the silver market in detail to see what is happening. Much of it is based on the Federal Reserve's predictions. And silver is currently looking nice in a lot of ways. Why? Because it's essential for so many things in the real world. In my opinion, it will rise in tandem with gold if the Federal Reserve decides to cut interest rates. However, that will have a positive effect on the economy. That is their signal. Their expectation is that it will serve to rev up the economy and set it back on a more favorable trajectory. In turn, this increase in the economy will lead to a greater need for silver in the goods and services that meet consumer demand. In addition, it suggests that, as is already the case, quantitative easing is likely to continue in the shadows. In light of next week's anticipated rate cut by the Federal Reserve, this is demonstrating some resiliency. By the way, my guess is that it will be a quarter point. However, I will be publishing another video that challenges that soon, so be on the lookout. Also, you should definitely not miss that one. It is incredible to watch silver's movement in light of the current market conditions. Silver is facing temporary pressure due to the dollar's minor decline and record high equities. Nonetheless, the metal's long-term outlook remains bright. This suggests that we may soon see a price of $42 per ounce. However, considering the level of resistance there, that is truly the main issue. Based on the chart analysis and critical support levels, silver is currently climbing within a parallel channel that has been in place since late August. As I speak, the price is hovering around $41.66, with a solid support level around $40.91 serving as a lower line, with a price of $42.22 as the premium. The price of silver futures is now more than $42, by the way, As of this moment, I believe it's $42.10. Furthermore, moving averages corroborate. At $41.08, the 50-day moving average is congruent with the current price. It is thus at a pivotal level. The 200-day moving average is $39.12 below that. Traders find it to be a solid support and a longer-term trend line. Keep in mind too that the markets often display a great deal of resistance in these sectors, and that is an important factor to think about in this case. Silver is irresistible. It is possible to firmly oppose price increases. That has happened before. For that reason, it poses an issue. $42 is a significant obstacle. That was also the subject of a video I made earlier today. We view sluggishness in this domain favorably. However, there is an issue with that obstacle since it prevents you from progressing to the following level. We are making great strides. Take a look at that video. I'll put a link to it at the bottom of this video so you can see what silver market trends to keep an eye on in the next several weeks and months. The video in question is crucial. I hope you'll give it a look even though it didn't have many views. When looking for pattern analysis that suggests consolidation instead of reversal, candlesticks are another tool to consider. So that's a plus. That also lends credence to the argument I advanced in my earlier video. The ongoing tug-of-war between risk-on and safe-haven demand is showing itself with sideways candles and narrow-bodied dojis, which indicate hesitation. The crux of the matter is that. The reason behind the opposition. If the price can break above $41.66, it would indicate that momentum has returned. And if the price drops below $40.91, it can continue to fall until it hits $40.14 again. And while that may not seem like a good thing right now, it would be good in the long run. Anything over $40 is excellent. There appears to be a harmony among momentum indicators as well. This article from FX Leader states that the Relative Strength Index, RSI, is nearly neutral at 49. That being said, neither the sellers nor the purchasers are in complete charge. A flat rating does not indicate weakness, but rather a slowing of the positive momentum. It should be noted. The issue here is a slowing of the bullish momentum, but there is no weakness. This indicates that the current region is strong, lending credence to the analysis I presented in my video from earlier in the day. Once more, take a look. It may be oversold within the channel and a good time to purchase if the RSI approaches $40. That much is certain. In light of the continuing geopolitical and domestic concerns, the Fed easing backdrop continues to boost silver. Today is September 11th, the day following Charlie Kirk's murder. The sound of that shot reverberated across the globe. The entire globe is responding. We offer our prayers for his family during this difficult time. Additionally, we hope that the gunman may be caught and that the motive can be fully determined. It was a political assassination. That much is clear. There can't be any question in my mind regarding it. Still, we honor the lives lost on September 11th, just as we do every other day. As we offer our prayers for the families who are still reeling from the tragedy, we also remember the regrettably diminishing ranks of those who have contributed to the recovery efforts. You know, this is a fantastic nation, and it happens to fantastic nations and fantastic speakers all the time. You know, it's impossible to bury the message that Charlie Kirk conveyed, and the essence of America. That is why we have been so determined since September 11th. As a country, we have endured many difficult moments, but we will persevere and move forward, sure thing. There you have it, the backdrop drop. So, what's the deal with these two silver pieces? I acquired a 10-ounce silver Kookaburra coin during the 2015 anniversary issues. Sure thing. These sculptures have been around for 25 years. A lovely piece of silver, weighing between 10 and a kilogram. Both of these items pay homage to the timeless style of the 1990s. Here, the obverse alone features Queen Elizabeth. Regardless, silver's role during the time is unclear. In 2015, after only a few years on the air, the channel began to make a name for itself in this community. Still, silver, at its average closing price per troy ounce, was at $15 $15.71. Consider this: $15.71. The year's high was around $18.23, and the low was around $13.71. A strong dollar and declining prices for other industrial commodities, such as oil and copper, contributed to the downtrend in the price throughout the year. Sure thing. That is why silver essentially sat there for a long time. Looking back at 2015 and its declining trajectory by year's end, I think it would be hard to find anyone who would have bet $10 years ago that silver would hit $40 again. Well, I'm sure many of you were under the impression that we would have arrived by now. But some were beginning to lose hope as we dragged our feet until the price nearly doubled the next year. In 2016, it temporarily reached $29, I believe. But still, here we are. This piece is from 2020, and I want to share it to you now. What transpired that year can also jog your memory. Once again, the entire globe is stunned. The markets were also taken aback. The price of silver actually dropped below $12 for a short time. Yes, I understand. The premiums were beginning to soar at that time, so good luck locating any silver for that price, or even close. However, that sets the stage for what we are observing. A person's point of view is crucial. With silver, we're doing rather well. More and more people are standing up to $42 per ounce, and that is an issue. It's approaching and we're drawing near. Your market study is now complete. Once again, I invite you to view the video I uploaded earlier today. You may find the link at the bottom of the screen. Finally, I want to thank you very much for watching, and I really appreciate it when you hit that like, share, comment, or subscribe button. The transcription was performed by turboscribe.ai. To get rid of this message, go for unlimited.